What's up, guys? Welcome to the OGN Heroes of the Storm Super League. I'm Tasteless.
And I am Artosis.
Yes, you are. And we
You
have
better believe it.
We have a fantastic day lined up for you guys here today. It's been a really exciting tournament. It's been a lot of fun for you and me to see Heroes of the Storm develop globally, but also especially here in Korea.
Yep.
The Koreans are looking very strong, and today we have a very close match. It's going to be RAVE HOTS against MRR, which is short for the sound that Murlocs make.
Indeed, a great team name and a great team to go along with it, Tasteless.
Yeah.
These teams are both very strong, evenly matched, as you said, and whoever wins here today will go on to the round of 4. This is the last seed into that top 4.
Yeah, and I think that it's really tough to say who actually is the better team here. Just recently we were casting RAVE HOTS. We didn't think they were going to do that well, and managed to have a pretty impressive 3-1 victory. Also a great team. I think this should be a day where we do go to game number 5.
I think you're probably right about that. MRR and RAVE HOTS both got here by beating MVP Sky, and they both beat them 3-1.
And a lot of people thought MVP Sky was easily top 2 here, and that's
well, MVP Black is like the best team in the world, basically.
When you're practicing with the best of the best, you can kind of expect the other team to be pretty good. But in this case, no, actually completely outclassed. By the way, if we could just touch on this for a second, globally the Koreans have been dominating in the Heroes of the Storm as well.
Yes, indeed. MVP Black won IM Shenzhen as well as MGA over at PAX Prime. So. Yeah. And that was the first really big international one. They got to take down Team Liquid and Tempo Storm on the way to that, as well as Virtus Pro, once again, same as IM Shenzhen. But like they really showed dominating form, only Team Liquid really pushing them to the final game.
It's really exciting whenever a new game comes out to see which regions tend to dominate, because we always start out with these mini metas. You know, okay, well, here's what the North Americans are doing. Here's what the vast majority of Europeans are doing. You sometimes got to split that into East Europe, West Europe, and then you got the China scene, the Taiwanese scene, and then the Korea scene. And a lot of people speculate, okay, well, which one is really going to be dominant? Just now, at the very beginning, we're starting to see Korea doing quite well, and so whoever wins this tournament here now, the whole thing, I think has got a very good chance of being considered rank 1 in the world, really.
Absolutely. Like, already we have to kind of give it to MVP Black. Whoever wins this, though, I think has a good chance at winning BlizzCon, no doubt. But I'm sure that everyone from all the regions is practicing very hard right now. They realize, okay, Korea's a real threat. We have to pay serious attention to their metagame. We have to pay serious attention to their picks and bans. Because before they were like, oh, I don't know, 3 Warriors, like, yeah, it's probably not any good.
Weird, but
and it's like, well, now they've wrecked face, and
now you gotta
it's time to watch and either learn or at least figure out what the weakness is.
By the way, I think it's fair to say that it shouldn't be too shocking that Korea is doing so well at Heroes of the Storm. League of Legends has been the most popular game in Korea for several years now, so you got a lot of people with these 5-on-5 game experiences, controlling a map, working together as a team. And with Korea being the PC Cafe capital of the world as well, it's quite nice, not just playing with your friends on Skype, but you all meet up, go down to a PC Cafe, grind together on the ladder. It's definitely a good place to get some practice. In fact, some of these teams started out grinding in PC Cafes.
Indeed. MRR actually qualified through the PC Bong tournament to be in this tournament. And
they're very good. Goes to show you. You can get some serious hardcore training out of a PC Cafe.
Well, you see, guys, here is the results of Group A. MVP Black in first place, Snake in second place. These two teams unbelievably strong. Of course, we did see Snake taking out Game 8 top in a ridiculously one-sided series.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
3-0 on Saturday. And then, of course, for Group B that we are going to finish up tonight, Team DK got first place, and second place will be decided between MRR and RAVE HOTS.
It's really exciting to see these guys develop and the stories build up. This should be one of our closer matches, if not the closest here.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really looking forward to this possibly going to 5 games. Again, both of them beat MVP Sky. They both lost to DK, and DK definitely one of those, I guess, 3 big teams that we've seen. DK, Snake, and MVP Black. They've done tournaments in China. They've played against each other a lot. All 3 of those teams look like they could absolutely win this tournament. But one of these 2 will have kind of that underdog shot to win it as well.
Certainly so. We're getting closer and closer to starting our match, but first let's take a closer look at our players here. Again, not all these players have a ton of experience in front of the camera, so the pressure's really on.
MRR, you know, they do have one super pro on the team, and that is, of course, Duck, the StarCraft 2 champion here of Europe.
Yeah, and he is really the leader of the pack with these guys. This guy's a very talented player. But for the rest of them, not anywhere near as much experience. As you can see here, their usual roles they play.
Indeed. A very strong team, but of course, Duck going to be the leader of this team. This guy has a lot of experience as a pro gamer, really knows what it is to fight under pressure, and definitely a very talented guy from StarCraft 2. So definitely something to watch during these games.
Definitely one of the emotional players that you love to see win. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Great guy. Really shows a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Doesn't hide his emotions one bit.
Now you see Buck here. Fantastic Uther player. We see some losses there, of course, because, well, the last 5 picks, they lost one of their last matches, so of course you're going to see 3 losses in there. But yeah, definitely quite a strong support player. And
here is Dami. As you can see, a wide range of roles have been played here by Dami, and that's not uncommon. You have 1 to 2 players on a team that really can kind of cover everything.
You have to, because of the way that this game operates. A lot of different compositions can work, and you have to kind of play around the draft and the map, because there's so many maps in the game. So you always get someone that's going to support every time. You generally get someone who's going to tank every time. You generally get someone that's going to do range damage every time. And after that, you got to have a couple all fillers, and here's the other one, Jungha.
Yeah, as you can see, playing a lot of warrior classes as of late, doing a lot of tanky heroes. I definitely feel like those are that's another class where you want to be able to really understand well. It's hard to switch, for instance, if you've been playing a warrior for a long time, to go back to Jaina or something like that.
Certainly.
You know, to get that feel down. I think it's one of the main reasons why we see so many people just sticking in that support role, because you always have to be kind of filling a different function in a battle, right?
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that. You want someone that just knows all the support characters and can always be on top of heals. It's so different than dealing damage.
It's not like you're just trying to chase down, oh, there's Nazebo, go get him.
Yeah.
He's weaker. You really got to keep an eye, okay, who's got what ability set on who's in trouble, who needs buffs.
Yeah, it's
a real art form.
And we've seen every team in this tournament, at least, has the same support player every single game.
Yeah.
Oftentimes the shot caller as well, but I don't think it's for every team, the shot caller. But anyways, I mean, this is something kind of interesting about these 5-on-5 team games, is these different roles and the fact that you have to have players that are more versatile than other players and players that really focus on just 1 or 2 different specific hero types.
Now we're taking a closer look at MRR. That is an abbreviation. Their actual team name, excuse me, this is RAVE HOTS. What am I talking about? RAVE HOTS is a fantastic team, very new and very, very solid. We'll take a closer look and see exactly what their specified roles are. But these guys had a pretty big upset about a week ago.
Yeah, you know, I didn't think that they were going to be able to take down MVP Sky, but you know what? MVP Sky, they had a couple strong tournaments in Korea previously, but in this Super League, they were one of the weakest teams for sure. Them and Danwha Joker tied for 8th place, so not too impressive there, but these guys played fantastically.
Joker definitely has Johanna's hair here, as we mentioned, or Jaina's hair.
That's
definitely looking good.
I think it's short. It's short. You know?
Joker, fantastic player.
Meanwhile, Tasteless has Asmodan's hair. By the way, guys, tell your friends that this tournament is on.
This tournament is still pretty indie, I'd say, compared to a lot of the other esports stuff we've been doing. A lot of people have no idea that we're actually casting Heroes of the Storm, as well as
Ojan is having it, and that the Koreans are absolutely as good or better than everyone else.
This is a gem of a tournament. I mean, definitely, you can get in here first and really see history in the making. So tell your buddies to join us here at OGN.
Certainly. We'd appreciate it, guys, so definitely do go ahead and do that. Definitely some different plays from what you might see normally in whatever scene that you watch, whether that's Europe or North America. But definitely a lot of fun, so let people know.
Let people know. I believe the most watched people right now in Heroes of the Storm is ZPTV and Chew8. You guys let them know they need to save esports right now. And have your viewers join us here. This is going to be a good day today. These should be some really exciting close games. We started this tournament out, by the way, with a lot of not close games at all.
Yeah, there's
3-0s for about, what, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, and, you know, it makes sense because we really have, like, 4 or 5 really good teams. We have 3 teams that absolutely are world class. I would say it goes like MVP Black, Snake, and then DK maybe.
Yeah, I think
like
you're
those
right.
3 are like really super duper legit. Now these 2 teams are really good, RAVE, HOTS, and MRR.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they're the same level as those other 3 teams, but they're both way better than the other 3 teams in this tournament.
Yeah. Also, you got to keep in mind, this game is very, very young. So if you look at the stretch of time you have to improve, I mean, a few weeks in between a match is huge. Mm-hmm. That's definitely more time to capitalize, to grow, to develop. And there's always new maps being released. That's one thing that makes Heroes of the Storm so exciting. There's also always new heroes being released. So we're like watching a game that even you and I are learning. Everybody's learning it, but it is developing and changing so quickly.
Yeah, and that definitely does change things every single week going forward. So anyways, we're going to go to our first map, and that's going to be, of course, our 2-team map. Of course, all maps are 2 teams. But this is Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. Here's what you want to do. See these little spiders? You want to kill them. Their butts are little gems. You take the gems, you turn them in, turn in enough gems, you summon the web spinners. The web spinners help you push down a lane. And that's essentially what the map objective is. There's also plenty of mercenary camps, including at the very top center, the boss. Get him. You can tear through that top lane, ultimately getting to the core and defeating the opposing team.
Now, don't forget, if you get killed while carrying gems, you drop them. You have to turn in those
gems. Just like real life, guys.
Yep. As soon as I died the other day in real life, all the gems fell out of my pockets.
Fell out. That's right.
The gems and my spaghetti. Well, here we're going to show you where the Merc camps are at. The Merc camps on this map, a couple bruisers and a siege down in the bottom middle. Of course, the boss at the top middle. Definitely a place where we see a lot of risky plays, and definitely a place where you can throw. It's very tight corridors in there, so you got to be careful if you go for that boss.
There is the Spider Queen herself. No, not really. That's just one of the web spinners.
Yeah, that's a web weaver, man. It's not the queen. The queen wouldn't show herself here.
I'm going to let you guys in on this right now. Did you notice that the voice of the Spider Queen is also the voice of Zagara?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Zagara isn't the Spider Queen.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Tasteless, you've gone overboard this
She
time.
is the Spider Queen.
Blizzard, do something about Tasteless!
All right, we're going to the ban pick phase.
All right, here we go.
First ban is Uther.
Wow, all right,
I haven't seen this for a little bit, but that's like not a bad ban at all.
Yeah, I mean,
get rid of the best support.
And a Zeratul counterban, which means we should see Leoric picked up first here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Zagara also going to be a hot pick. So now we have Leoric, going down for MRR. Next 2 picks here will be for RAVE, HOTS.
All right, let's see what it is. Always interested when people ban a Zeratul when their opponents didn't ban Leoric.
We have a problem.
Your mic just fell off your head.
My mic just popped off of my...
oh, wow.
I'm holding my mic to my head right now. Can you see if you can fix that for me?
Well, Tasteless, since I pedal the bike that makes the stream work, I guess I can. There you go. It's fixed.
I was trying to adjust my mic, and it popped right off my headset, and... Anyways.
Everything you touch turns to ash. Well,
so we have Johanna now, and it's also going to be Malfurion for the picks there for RAVE, HOTS.
Well, the reason why they're going to go ahead and pick up Malfurion is because Uther was banned, so they don't want to go with Rhaegar. So it's not a bad pick, but of course they are skipping out on some more powerful tanks and some powerful damage dealers. Let's go ahead and see what does MMR want to pick up here. Wouldn't be surprised if they grab something like a Kael'thas or a Jaina here. Want to get some of that range damage in.
And there we go.
All right, so they don't want the ban of Rhaegar.
Yeah, exactly. They want to make sure they get some support in here. That's basically the lineup for Korea for support. You know, it goes Uther, Malfurion, and then Rhaegar. And so they follow that. They pair that support pick with then some strong damage dealers. You're getting Jaina.
Yeah, Jaina definitely one of the very strong range damage dealers. She's picked up. Her and Kael'thas are right now valued over Vala in the Korean meta, although for a while there Vala was actually valued above them. So kind of interesting to watch it change over time.
The one thing about Jaina is that she just has so many ways to slow down retreating heroes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times she can really, she's not actually being the finisher, but she's the one that's making sure that the opposing players are slow enough. everybody else can catch up and
Yeah,
execute.
anyone that kind of jumps on her and tries to get her, she's like, hey, 3 abilities, get out!
Yeah, the funny thing about Jaina is there's a lot of times where you do want to fight one-on-one.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have much HP, you're like, wait a minute, you're like,
Guys, if you're
spray everything on him.
If you're new to Heroes of the Storm, don't attack Jaina alone.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Don't
It's
go
pretty
alone.
scary, man. Yeah. No kidding.
But, let's see what we're gonna have.
So we have the Zagara ban and the Kel'Thas ban.
Okay, so Zagara is just, I mean, such a high-tier hero. Being a specialist that spreads creep everywhere, it's insane.
Multifunctional, yeah, and the Devouring Maw is quite strong. It also functions a lot like Zeratol's Void Prism.
Yeah. And she's one of the absolute best lane pushers in the game as well. She's just like
Oh, yeah.
all around one of the best heroes in this game. So not surprising to see her taken out. And then Kel'Thas
She's also the Spider Queen.
banned. If you say so, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But banning Kel'Thas over at MRR because they already got Jaina. That's going to force a Vala pick in. Oh!
Sonya.
We did see Sonya picked this past weekend. This is very exciting stuff.
Sonya has been getting a little bit more attention lately.
She did after that
Sonya,
last
great
patch.
for brawling, especially even if she's not with her entire team in a big group.
Yeah, and anywhere where you're fighting a lot in lanes with minions, Sonya can be a little bit better because, of course,
That's
her Whirlwind
true.
is fantastic when she's on top of minions. She has lots of things she can grapple to. She
Yeah.
does deal a lot of damage as well, has a lot of sustain.
So now we're going to have, it looks like, Muradin and then Sylvanas for the last 2 picks.
Love this Muradin pick. Reverberation going to be very powerful against the auto-attacking trio over here of Johanna, Vala, and Sonya. Going to be able to slow down Sonya there. It's going to be very nice.
And they're going to have to be very careful when web spinners are out pushing lanes because Sylvanas can shut down a lane pretty easily with a lot of damage being dealt there.
Yeah, she's regained some popularity recently here in Korea. It was a while that she wasn't being picked too much, but she is back.
And now we're going to go to the final hero selection here before we start our game. Is it going to be an Arthas, maybe?
Arthas, do they want to go triple tank? I mean, Arthas is such a fantastic tank on this map.
He's also great for cleaning up lanes with a frostbite. So
yeah, absolutely.
That might be what they want to go for.
He puts out so much damage, but they already have Sonya, so I don't think they're going to take him, actually. I could see him taking, like... No, I mean... Oh, they could take Asmodan. I mean, it's better with Leoric, but they definitely have Johanna to help out with that, and Sonya a little bit. That wouldn't be too bad. Other than that, they could go for a damage. Like, Malf doesn't go well with Kerrigan, so I don't think that.
Oh,
Monk! Whoa!
What is going on?
Guys, send out the
crowd
smoke
goes
signals,
wild.
okay? Seriously, go to your car, get your flare kit, set off your flares, because we have Malf and Karazim here
I don't even
RAVE
know
HOTS.
what's going on. We're about to see something very, very different, I'll say that. I don't know if it's going to work, but they got to try.
This is insanely cool.
That was
man.
a complete curveball.
Look at this. Okay,
Wild card play.
Let me make some guesses here real quick. I think Karazim, because of Sonya being in here, going to be diving up there, doing a lot of healing. We may see more damage upgrades on Malf than healing here.
Sure.
He
Why not?
definitely can zone people very well with his entangling roots. You know, the Moonfire upgrades and everything. I mean, we could see a little bit of damage coming out of Malf, Tasteless.
You're absolutely right. Well, we're going to, for a little bit of a treat here, guys, as we're going to see exactly how this team's going to use this interesting composition. The map is Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we're going into game number 1 here at the OGN Heroes of the Storm Super League.
That's a damage Karazim.
Ooh.
People have done this against me in Hero League, and I have laughed every time and collected my Hero League points, but I've heard that it can be good.
Word on
I
the
don't
street.
know. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see.
I mean,
let's
I'm
learn
no pro,
ourselves some
but-
Heroes of the Storm, man.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Taking a look at the other builds we have going on. Of course, a Reverberation, as mentioned, for Duck Duck here on Muradin. And, yeah, we have a... just everything looking pretty good. Nice take spawn here on Johanna to help clear out those minion waves very well. Of course, the W build on Vala definitely wants to go ahead and deal lots of damage there.
Yeah, just spam out as much damage as humanly possible.
Yeah.
We have our first engagement over there. Johanna diving in now. Looks like Karazim taking a little bit of damage. Is going to have to back off now. They're going to have to go to their respective lanes. continue to collect the gems. And we might even have some rotation here with the Jaina, Leoric, and Muradin going from top lane to middle lane, since those lanes are both so close together.
Well, right now we do see this rotation taking place. We have Sylvanas against Vala, it looks like, down at the bottom. Vala obviously going to be good in the solo, but Sylvanas going to clear those lanes quickly. In the meantime, we do have a fight here in the center. Sonya taking lots of damage, and bam, down she goes. Nice jump in there from Muradin.
Nicely done, knocking Karazim right out there. He will be respawning here momentarily, but we're already having a nice victory there for Team MRR. And they're going to continue to collect gems now. 50 is that number they want to get that to. You got to be very careful, especially at this level of play, to turn in when you know you're actually safe.
Yeah.
And also not to turn in too many times, really turn in at that last moment when you know it's going to get it, because otherwise you're losing a possible experience.
Some confident teams will even sometimes hold off on how quickly they turn in.
Yeah, so they can do 2 turn-ins in a row even.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Crazy.
Turn in too early doesn't actually do anything. You don't really you barely get towers.
It would only be good if you were like really bad, right? And you're like, oh, I'm probably going to be killed anyways. We got another attack coming on over here. Johanna on the run right now. Johanna just barely managed to gather, but it's Leoric skeletal swing. No. Wow. Takes him out. Nicely done. Using the vampiric ability. We still don't have all these ability names down. What is the name of that ability?
Withering Hope.
Withering Hope. Thank you. To take the last little bit of HP there and get a kill.
Well, looks like Karazim actually put out some pretty good damage so far. Saw him almost taking out Sylvanas in that last little battle. Let's take a look here. Right now we are seeing RAVE trying to get that level 4 for that next talent. See what they go for with that. But MRR really controlling the flow of this game so far. They're ahead of their opponents in the lanes. They're able to actually do the rotations because of that as well, which means they're always being able to push it over to the towers right now.
Well, down here in the bottom lane, we already got a really nice push coming in. Looks like we have a turn in. Oh, yeah, we just had a turn in there from Leoric. Getting a little bit closer. In fact, they may collectively almost have enough to actually start summoning the Web Weavers. But you can see as this is going on that RAVE HOTS is really trying to position themselves so they can come in there for a possible ambush.
Certainly, they do want to be able to have some sort of mobility into that area. Now we do have right now, Leoric going after Sonya right now. Sonya is going to go ahead and escape. Sonya, people have been trying to use her like we saw on Saturday. Sonya trying to lane against Leoric. It doesn't completely work, but she definitely can hold her own longer than a lot of other heroes.
It's pretty tough to lane against Leoric.
Yeah, he's, as far as tanks
as long as you're close to him,
killer.
he's just always soaking up more HP and dealing more damage. We got another turn in here, a very small turn in it looks like for Team MRR. No turn in yet here for RAVE HOTS.
Looks like right now Sonya actually sending Leoric packing for the time being. Little rotation coming down here by Vala. Does get her multi-shot off there.
And still hovering around this turn-in point over here. We're at 18 turn-in gems right now for MRR, so they're definitely doing a better job of depositing, although it could just be the RAVE.
I don't think they want it yet.
Yeah, it's just playing a more conservative game and just holding out until the last second. Maybe wait for the first take. Oh my gosh!
Man.
Johanna taking so much damage so quickly.
Insane body blocking there by DuckDuck. Now look at this. They're going to try to keep the Monk out of here. Trying to guard those gems, and it looks like it will be successful. Some great moves there by MRR.
Perfect zoning there to get Karazim out of the picture. And now we have what looks to be RAVE HOTS rotating up here into the center. A level lead right now for MRR. And that means they're probably going to be hitting that level 10 maybe just a little bit sooner.
That is so important. And if they can line up right around that level 10 Web Weavers,
Web Weavers,
it's a pretty big deal. They should be able to deal a lot of damage at that point, possibly even kill some heroes off, and then possibly, they hope, get some forts.
Looks like we have the Bruiser camp intended to be captured here, but RAVE HOTS is privy to this information and now moves in. A lot of damage, beautiful entangling roots there by Malfurion.
Wow, that was insane. That was like...
That was so pro.
That was some Rambo stuff there by RAVE HOTS over on enemy side.
Hostile takeover right there.
Seriously. Well done, though, getting those Knights, really buying themselves some time in the middle while these Knights have to be dealt with.
Yeah. Not very often pre-level 10 do we see an engagement that goes that well where they actually move in there, capture the other Bruiser camp in the midst of that even being hit.
They were
some great game sense there from RAVE HOTS.
Indeed.
We have the turn in. It's going to be Spiders pushing right now for Team MRR as we are rapidly closing that level 10 peak.
All right, well, you know what? As long as RAVE doesn't lose too much to this and they don't lose all their gems, they should be able to get a turn in right afterwards. But MRR still has a good amount of gems here. You see Duck has quite a few. Of course, Merton definitely able to hold on to quite a few and not worry about it too much. He has a lot of great escape mechanisms.
All right, well, they're going to make sure that the middle lane is going to be cleaned up first. All 5 of the heroes here for RAVE HOTS focusing down the Web Reaver. And then it looks like there will be a rotation over here to the top. I think they really want to zone out any of the players here for MRR.
Now we do have Duck going right in there. We did have Johanna pulling him in. They're trying to push down these towers as best they can. Nice stun coming out here from Muradin.
And it looks like they'll just barely do enough damage here. Looks like the walls and the turrets for the entrance of the top lane will be torn down. They will be raised there for RAVE. But, oh, by the way, down there at the bottom, I guess we didn't actually catch it on camera. They did clean up that final spider there. It looks like Karazim took care of that too. Yeah,
the spider's not really getting that much done. They were the first spiders, so that makes sense too. But right now, MRR actually gets level 10, so they can actually do some turn-ins here. You can't really battle them right now as RAVE.
And it looks like that first turn it is barely not going to get put in there. Nice job from Johanna.
Having your heroic abilities first is such a big deal, as we see. Look at this. RAVE just kind of backing up. They just need to soak a little bit more here.
They just got to buy some time. They need to stall, because you'll never have a level 9 battle where you win against a level 10. It's just not going to happen. The other team knows what they're doing.
Well, look at this. Right now they're going after Sonya. Can they get him? And it looks like, oh, yes. In fact, Sonya does go down. A lot of gems drop, but looks like Karazim trying to get him.
Oh! Beautiful takedown there.
That's a lot of
MRR
gems.
just dominating here. Looks like Jocker does manage to get in there now, holding 43 gems.
Yeah. Well, it is Johanna, so yeah, probably will be all right. But look, that's why you have to stay away from your opponents when they're 10 and you're not. They have their heroic abilities. They're going to beat you in a fight no matter what, and we saw that perfectly done by MRR.
Just barely in time does RAVE HOTS get the gems deposited to now get their own lanes pushed out here with the Web Reavers.
All right, now we do have those Web Weavers coming down. We have 4 of them here in the center. Vala is up top trying to defend against Leoric, who's kind of doing a push right now for MRR. Well, he's Leoric, so I guess that's all right. Nothing weird here.
Nothing strange about that. Leoric, you know, as usual, always managing to escape in the nick of time. Goes back, taps the well. It's going to be back in action in no time.
That Wraith walk, man. He talks the Wraith talk and walks the Wraith walk.
We got a great push over here in the top lane. They really need to get in there, though, and take out that fort. It's not just about the walls, the towers, the gate. That's all just to get in the way of you actually taking out the fort. Obviously, if you take out the fort, you have a stronger pushing lane.
Yeah, and right now, RAVE doing an okay job here, getting some control over the map and what's going on. Looks like they are rotating down towards that bottom lane at the moment. Monk being knocked off of his horse there. Going to have to jump away. Leoric having a great job. Sucking some of his health out there.
Oh, nice blocking over here. Looks like Sonya going to be in a little bit of trouble, but at the same time, hold on, beautiful. Actually, Johanna's getting so low right now.
Oh, man.
We're going to come in with the body block and takes her out.
Wow, that's way too many gems right there. And in fact, Karazim falls as well. That is a ton of gems. That's something that can cost you the game right there. I mean, the game is not over yet, but to lose that many, that's like a full turn-in on the ground, Tasteless.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, you know, up until this point, pretty much all the gems that, you know, you could get. So to lose that is tremendous. And you see immediately MRR is seizing the moment, going down here, now going to capture that bruiser camp they did manage to get earlier.
Yeah.
Allow for a stronger push lane right over there. The response here, similar from RAVE HOTS, to then try to take their own bruiser camps. They did have some of their heroes knocked out of the game.
That was the best thing that they could really do right then. In the meantime, they're going to try to hold on to their forts, but this is a situation in which you've got to be looking at as MRR and saying, you know what, we can get absolutely one fort, maybe more than that.
Looks like they're coming in here. They're trying to just get Vala. Vala, you know, pretty squishy hero. Pretty easy to kill. I got to say, MRR pretty damn confident. They are completely fine roaming in the opposing player's territory.
I tell you,
even setting up traps. They're really taking advantage of the smoke.
Yeah, the perfect heroes to do it with. Muradin and Leoric here going to come out now, help fight against this fort. This fort 100% going to be going down.
Great usage of Sylvanas there to shut down the attack abilities of the fort. Now pushing forward here. Now we haven't seen a play quite like that where they hid in their opponent's smoke side
very
and came in surrounded.
Very aggressive stuff. Put a lot of damage on Bala, though, and really made her go back and heal up before coming down. So they do get the fort. They are going to get, actually, these towers in front of the keep as well in this mid lane.
I think they're just milking out as much damage, eking out as much damage as humanly possible with that lane they already have pushed in so far. Any extra scratch or bruise you can deal, go for it.
And look at this, a great rotation, too, coming up right before all their web weavers died so that they could try to get this fort. I don't know if they'll actually end up getting it, though. Looks like Joanna pushing in, pushing them off of this area. And they are going to retreat for the time being, which is probably pretty smart.
Now, you know, it's been back and forth this game, but if you look at the infrastructure on the map, I mean, there are no more forts remaining here for RAVE HOTS.
Yeah, that's the last one going
That's the last one. And if you look on the other side of the map here for MRR, I mean, they are allowed to make mistakes. There's a lot that the other team would still have to tear through in order to get there and actually destroy the core. So really, MRR in beautiful condition in this game.
Yeah, and let's not forget that they forced a drop of about 50 gems earlier as well. Now, RAVE HOTS does have just about enough to turn in anyways, so that's good, but the turn-in after that's going to be very difficult indeed.
Looks like they're going to slowly push into this area. And yep, it looks like MRR actually going to back up. They're going to give him the turn-in, deciding it's not safe to pick a fight in that area.
Well, looks like we do have MRR grabbing those spires once again, which is really nice for them. Keeping that pressure on against RAVE HOTS, who didn't get to turn in any of their gems.
Notice they're going into the top lane. There's a very good reason for this, because the top lane also in the very top center, the boss is there. So if they can actually soften up this lane at all, maybe when a team fight, go back and get boss, excuse me. They have direct access to the heart of the opposing team's base. And when you kill the core, that's how you win the game.
Absolutely. It's really smart to move out these lanes that you're commonly going to be seeing Mercs going down, getting even more pressure in it. So looks like Duck going to jump in for the time being. Already used his Dwarf Toss, so he's going to have to wait for that route to go away. Runs out, and they look like they might actually get this keep.
All right, but not without a fight. RAVE HOTS now dashing in right now. Looks like Vernon's getting pretty low. We have Bella using her heroic ability, and down goes Sonya.
Some great heals going down there on Muradin, saving his Rhaegar. Beautiful Ancestral. In the meantime, killing off both Karazim and Sonya, pushing forward MRR in a dominating position.
Beautiful job with the ice block there once Karazim started to use his heroic so that there was not enough damage distributed there. Now that, keep goes down.
Look, Joanna falls as well. They're down to just Malfurion and Fallen. That's not enough to do anything against them for the time being.
There's even Web Reavers pushing in the bottom lane we're not even seeing yet. And they're actually rotating down there now. It's going to be a clean house, a clean sweep here. And they just go ahead, use the Hearthstone, get back home, recharge on mana, regroup, and strike again.
Well, this is the really, truly brutal thing, is that they actually killed them off and they dropped their gems. So that's twice now. That's 2 turn-ins denied completely by killing them. So MRR just keeping complete control. RAVE, of course, going to check the boss. Definitely a place it could have been.
Frantically running through that lane just to see, okay, are they at the boss? They're not at the boss. Okay, so then clearly they're doing something else on the map. In fact, it's going to be the mercenary camp in the lower right, the bruiser camp that gets captured, the safest, easiest one to take. I think you look at MRR and you got to say, these guys just want to play it safe. They're here to win.
Absolutely. They want to go to that round of 4. It's so important. Don't forget, this is the only team in here without a sponsor, and they're definitely not the worst team. So they're trying to show their stuff and get that sponsor, continue their professional career, and possibly even win a trip to BlizzCon.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe now will be when the moment we might see Boss get acquired.
Well, they are rotating up towards it while we do have RAVE clearing out that bruiser camp.
I'm wondering if this is perhaps too brazen.
Well, they are a talent tier up in 3 levels, so I think they just want to fight anyway. So here they go. They do turn away from that boss. Boss does not actually go back and lock in, but it looks like they are going to continue to work on it. Zoning very well are these 2 tanks. Duck doing a great job here with his reverberation, keeping Joanna back.
They're going to come in here now. Karazim using the heroic to start.
It looks like Joanna right now standing on that capture point, trying to stay alive. Oh, Sonya falls, Joanna as well. Yeah, the monk is going to go down as well. Karazim falls. And once again, just our range damage and support left over. I believe that this should be GG.
That should be it. They're pushing now towards the core. Really nothing to defend. Malfurion actually is going to have to use the Hearthstone to get back home because he's completely out of position. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
it's just Vala, you know, it's so squishy. I mean, able to deal a lot of damage, but certainly not soak that much of it.
No.
And they are going ham on the core right now with Boss coming up in his crazy scissor hands, destroying the core, Artosis.
Bossword scissor hands over here, going after that core, and that's going to be it. GG.
GG. Game number 1 goes to Team
Indeed.
MRR, the sound that Murlocs make.
Team, the sound that Murlocs make. That was really well done by them. They played fantastically.
Very nicely done. Beautiful.
RAVE HOTS really kind of got outshined there.
Kind of
I do have to.
Artosis.
Let's talk about that Karazim
Let's
damage pick. I don't know. Like,
Okay, I don't feel like we all understand Karazim yet. I think what they're trying is neat, but they definitely built their heroes around Karazim's heroic actually doing anything.
yeah, seven-sided strike is pretty good, I guess. Like, it does a pretty
You
significant
could just
amount of
ice
damage,
block
but
out of it.
Sure.
You're just like, okay, now it doesn't
Thing is-
do anything, and I
Yeah.
wait for you to exhaust that, and then I go in there and I kill you.
I mean, normally it's hitting tanks and stuff too, but they
Yeah.
didn't really have the follow-up. Like, the Sonya pick was kind of interesting as well. Sonya not being able to escape a lot of the time. You know, she's very weak against stuns and slows, and you see that here. Like, as soon as you stun her or slow her down, she's like, oh god, I'm trying to get away, and it just doesn't end up working.
Great synergy there by MRR. As you can see, they just really knew where to focus down on what. And this is kind of the funny moment where it's like, I guess Jane is going to be the first to go. It was not an easy decision for them either, since they saw that Sonya was running. That's how you know you have a good team, when they're able to just shift gears and immediately recenter focus on another hero.
Certainly, that's one of the more important things you got to be able to do here. And you see during this battle, those were some huge plays by Duck in there. The fact that he was able to jump in, do the reverb, get those stuns off, especially on Sonya, everyone just started to explode.
And this was the kind of ballsy play here to go for Boss. I don't really blame RAVE HOTS for trying to come in here and go for a kill, but look at this. I mean, they were just able to not lose anybody here. I think Karazim looked like he way overextended there, and there's Malfurion running, trying to find another map in this game to be on. I mean, there's nothing he can do, man.
Another map in
He's
this
like,
game
let's
to be
just go
on.
to Cursed Hollow. Maybe nobody's there. Because that map is definitely going to go to MRR.
Yeah, very well done. Some great play. I wonder if we'll see any more Karazim damage picks here today, because that was kind of what threw me off. And Karazim died multiple times. It was kind of weird.
I don't think we're going to see Karazim picked again, but it's fun. It's fun to see it. But yeah, it did not pay off.
Yeah.
Having a more solid comp, probably the better play. I don't know though. I mean, this game's still developing. You know, you guys watching home are still learning. Artosis and I are still learning. Some of our players are still learning. And you know what's crazy about this is
You should learn your whole life
that's right.
about Heroes of the Storm.
That's right. We're going to be going to game number 2. I believe we have a short break here. It was not as close as I thought it was going to be. MRR kind of trumped
Yeah.
RAVE HOTS. Anyways, we'll be back after the short break, so stay tuned here at the OGN Heroes of the